This is a reimagining of Shakespeare's Richard III. Around the empty fields of Bosworth still roams my restless ghost, denied through my untimely end the crown and power I craved most. Before I became King Richard, the Duke of Gloucestershire was my name. Though a proud son of the House of York, everyone counted me out of the game. My withered arm and crooked back had me dismissed as frail, but I could scheme with the best of them, and I would claim the glory I seek. For 30 years, the York's White Rose fought against the Lancastrians' Red. My brothers and I would only be happy when every last one of them was dead. We captured mad King Henry VI and imprisoned him in the Tower. It was only for his own safety. Honest, not because we were afraid of his power. Then at Westbury, we caught his son. Edward was our prisoner of war, but somehow he turned up stabbed and dead. How it happened, I'm really not sure. I passed the news to Henry in the Tower all alone. I took with me my trusted blade to really drive the point home. Allies can become enemies when the wars are done and dusted. So it was with my brothers and I. None of us could really be trusted. Edward the eldest got rid of George, as he didn't see me as a threat. But I was happy to bide my time, because I had plenty of time yet. With one rival dispatched, I laid my plans to find a companion, a friend for life. I knew I wasn't the best looking guy, but didn't I deserve a pretty wife? Edward's widow was quite a babe, though she was a little past her best. I found her in her mourning clothes, grieving in the chapel of rest. She called me a filthy toad. She gazed upon me in disgust. I came up with a cunning ruse to prove her opinion a little unjust. I said her beauty had driven me wild, and I couldn't live without her. Either she could kill me by her fair hand, or follow me up the altar. For a moment I thought she'd kill me. Her look was haunted and harried. But I guess she took pity, or I won her over. 5 days later we were married. As a wedding gift, Edward declared he'd give old George a pardon that day, but George had drowned in a barrel of wine. Drunkards often go that way. The shock of the news caused poor Edward to cough up blood at the table. As he died, he named me Lord Protector to keep the rule of the country stable. But power for just a few short years until his eldest came of age was not how I wanted to be remembered. I wanted to take centre stage. I bought the loyalty of Lord Buckingham, who followed me for a price, and helped me get rid of his rivals and mine with some handy and sneaky advice. The plotters against my sweet nephews were dispatched as traitors should be. Their heads were chopped off, and the 2 young boys were locked up for their own safety. Then some odd papers came to light that my nephews had no claim to the throne. The people begged me to be their king, so I took the crown for my own. But across the channel in nearby France, Henry Tudor gathered his forces, landed in Wales, and once he'd rested, swapped his horse for a team of horses. I needed my nephews out of the picture, but Buckingham proved to be soft. I sent him to battle and asked my general to have him tactfully offed. I had another loyal subject who was happy to do the nefarious deed. My faithful and inveterate Tyrrell managed to do it without even making them bleed. But the night before battle my conscience prickled, and I woke up in a cold, damp sweat. The ghosts of my victims predicted my defeat when Henry and I at Bosworth met. At first it seemed I could not lose because my forces were superior, but pride goes before a fall, and this one definitely bit my posterior. My horse got stuck in marshy bog and left me without a steed. I'd give my kingdom for a single horse to save me in my hour of need. But alas, the horse that appeared before me had Henry Tudor on its back. He dealt me a final fatal blow, and I couldn't deflect the attack. I saw the light glint of his blade as his battle axe aimed for my head. My memories all end there, on the field where I fell dead. I have shrunk now to a breath of wind, a mystical trick of the light. As a villain I will always remembered, as I bow to the Tudor might.